Okay, Rabotai, we ready? Rabotai, he says like this in Sheva Yipol Tzadik, in Perik Vav, we're starting a new Perik. It's going to speak about, Rabotai, Barati Yetzer Hara, in Masechet Kiddushin, in Daf Lamed Amud Bet. We say Barati Yetzer Hara, Barati Torah Tavlin. Rabotai, Hashem says, I created the Yetzer Hara and I created the Torah as an antidote for it against it, Rabotai. I want to just read for you a few pieces over here. The importance of not giving up when it comes to learn Torah and not giving oneself excuses. Rabotai, he says like this. Hata'anah hanufutza biyoter hi, Rabotai. A lot of times a person has a very famous claim. Shani me'od rotzeh u'menaseh kama v'kama pa'amim. The person says, many times I want to try, ach eni matzliach ala Yetzer Hara ve'eneni yachol. But I am not able to be successful over the Yetzer Hara. So therefore I'm not able to do it, meaning to learn Torah. Ki kvar nitziti pa'amim rabot, because many times I tried to come and learn Torah, and I wasn't able to do it. Ukishekamti yishuv nafalti. When I got up, again I fell. Ve'avoda kasha alai me'od. And this is a very difficult service upon me, to keep on trying to learn about time. Many people say, when we begin to learn, it's boring, it's hard, I don't understand it. So what's the purpose of me learning it, Rabotai? This is what he's telling us over here. And this war between the Yetzer Hara and myself, he says it's not fit for me. And it's difficult for me. How many people say, and I am not built for this, Rabotai? I could be a businessman, but I won't be a Talmid Chacham. Why? You could do both. This is also the claim of many people that do not keep the Torah and Mitzvot. Now we're going to keeping the Mitzvot and the Torah. They hold, you're right, in truth it is good to be observant. However, he says, again, I'm not able to, and this is not for me. Rabotai, you should know hadvarim birurim, Rabotai. You should know clearly Yetzer Hara, Rabotai, that this Yetzer Hara, Hashem yitbarach bara, Rabotai, this Yetzer Hara that's going against you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He Himself created it. Bikavanat techila, initially with that intention. Ubara'ah oto, Rabotai, do you know why He created it? Kedei she'adam mitgaber olav, in order for a person to try to overpower him and not to try to give in him. If you try to play basketball, football, soccer, if you do not have a opponent that is defending you, what is the purpose of playing the game? There's no purpose, Rabotai. So it's over here. If you do not have Yetzer Hara, you won't have that same excitement in learning and doing mitzvot. Rabotai, he continues and he says, "V'tzarich ladar," a person needs to know, she'im ha'adam eino yachol itgaber ala Yetzer Hara. If a person is not able to overpower or overstrengthen on the evil inclination, HaKadosh Baruch Hu lo yavil adam kazeh Yetzer Hara. Hashem will never bring you that Yetzer Hara that you're not going to be able to overcome. You are only tested with things that you are able to overcome. V'zehu yisod ha'yisodot shel ha'emunah, Rabotai. This is the foundations of our emunah. She'en HaKadosh Baruch Hu menaseh et adam, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He does not test and try a person, b'davar in something, she'ha'adam lo yochol la'amod bo. Hashem will never test you in something that you're not able to pass it. You have to be able to pass it. Otherwise, He would have never given you that test. Remember, you're not going to ask a kid, a 3 or 5 or 10-year-old kid, to go ahead now and pick up a 300 or 400 weight. That you'll never do. Maybe somebody older you'll ask, but a child you'll never ask. Same thing over here. Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't look to Chas v'Shalom bring us down. Hashem only gives you things little by little in order to be able to make you stronger. Ki HaKadosh Baruch Hu noten la'adam et ha'nisayon, Rabotai. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives a person the test. Im koach ha'amida b'yachad, Rabotai. He gives it to him with the strength to be able to overcome it. That means if you have the test, that means you have also the strength. Rabotai, be very blunt. This concept, this rule applies to anything. Your wife, your friend, learning, getting up in the morning, your employer, somebody, I don't know, somebody, what do you call it, ripped you off somebody stole money from you. All these things, Rabotai, it would have never happened if Hashem knows you're not going to be able to overcome it. It could be applied to anything. She says, Rabotai. When Hashem gave you the test, He knew you were going to be able to overcome it, Rabotai. Not only on the test, but also on the Yetzer Hara. Rabotai. You will never have a Yetzer Hara that you are never able to overcome. It's impossible. You want to try to wake up in the morning, it's hard. You can't do it, correct? It's very hard. But why do you have that Yetzer Hara? Only because Hashem knows you could do it. Otherwise, He would have never bothered you. Everybody knows that whenever the Jewish men go out to fight and they see a beautiful woman, what does the Torah says? Listen carefully. The Torah went into the person's mind. Can you imagine fighting a war? And they used to bring out beautiful women, and now you're going to weaken it, you want to do the Avera. So Hashem says it is mutar to take her. There are conditions that have to be met, but He says she's allowed to be your wife. So you can continue fighting the war, and also you don't have to do any Averas. Why? Because Hashem knew that in time of war, you're not going to be able to overcome that Yetzer Hara. So you see, therefore the Torah allowed you, Rabotai. So you see over here, Rabotai, that Hashem knows what's best for us. Whatever nisayon, whatever test we have, Hashem knows that we're going to be able to overcome it. Rabotai continues and he says, Rabotai, listen to this carefully. We know the case with Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. You guys know that they were all thrown into the furnace. They were supposed to bow down to Avodah Zarah, but what did Hashem do? Michaela, they were supposed to be thrown into the Avodah Zarah because they did not want to bow down. The Gemara is going to try to say they were supposed to really get Malkut. If you take whiplashes and you start beating up a person, they are more forced to do something than just killing them in one shot. So look what he says. The Gemara says that had they been given lashes to Hanan, Mishael, and Azariah, they would have bowed down to the idol. Because they said, to die, we'll give our life up. But to go through the suffering of getting the lashes, that they were not going to be able to overcome. Because that would be much more painful. What do we see over here? What does the Gemara want to prove from here? Did the Gemara come to take away their high level? No. Rather, the Gemara came from one reason only. Because Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they're not going to be able to withstand in the suffering. That's why Hashem did not give them that nisayon. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to give you a test that you're not going to be able to overcome. He only gives you a test that you're going to be able to overcome. And he gives an example. He says, Can you imagine a king? He puts people in a closed area on condition that they should build for him over there something. Binyan Gadol Yafeh, nice building. If he knows if you don't have the machine, the material, you put them in an empty room, how do you want them to build, Rabotai? For the need of the work. So too with us, Rabotai. Hashem will never put you in a room without giving you the tools and say, okay, go ahead, learn Torah, go daven, go do mitzvah. No, Rabotai. Hashem makes sure that before He even puts you in that test, He actually gives you what? He actually gives you the tools. I just want to finish with this. And he says like this, Rabotai. Therefore he says, Yachdir la'atzmo, Rabotai. You should go ahead and try to think in your mind. Im za Yetzer Hara sheli, Rabotai. If this is your Yetzer Hara, bevadai shani yachol la'amod bo, Rabotai. If you got this Yetzer Hara with a girl with not learning Torah, that means you are able to overcome it. Otherwise, HaKadosh Baruch Hu would have never done it. VeHaKadosh Baruch Hu yodeya, Rabotai, listen to this carefully. VeHaKadosh Baruch Hu yodeya shani yachol la'amod bazeh. You should know that since Hashem gave it to you, Hashem knows that you're going to be able to overcome it. So therefore, when a person says, I'm not able to do it, who are you really lying to? Yourself? Because you could do it. The thing is, you don't want to do it. That's the only thing. In Daf Nun Bet Amud Bet, she'en ha'adam yachol להתגבר על יצרו אלמלא הקדוש ברוך הוא עוזרו. Rabotai, we know this. If Hashem wouldn't help us, Rabotai, put it to you like this. Chazal tell us that the Yetzer Hara is there every single day. They're out to kill you, meaning he wants you to make a sin. He wants you to sin. That's all his job. But the Gemara says, if it wouldn't be for Hashem's help, we would have a long time would have stopped being religious, etc. It's only because of Hashem we are able to continue. But Rabotai, look at what he tried to explain to Gaon Vilna. On this he explained, שאין הקדוש ברוך הוא עוזר לאדם אלא אם כן עשה מעצמו כל מה שיכול, רבותיי. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is only going to be able to help you only when he sees that you already gave it all. Rabotai, we have a pasuk we say in Pirkei Avot, Yehuda ben Tem Omer, right? Yehuda ben Tem says, have asked can Amer be strong like a leopard, Rabotai? It continues to be strong like a lion, swift like an eagle, etc. Rabotai, you ready? Rashi says, what means to be strong like a leopard? Unbelievable. When you already have no strength, Rabotai, give that one more extra push. Go that extra mile when you no longer can do it. You have people that are running a sprint. The last mile, they're already dying. There's nothing what they can do. But he says over here, Rashi says, give that extra push, Rabotai. That's what the Gomer Vilna is also saying. Once you give that extra push, what's going to happen, Rabotai? Hashem himself is going to only help you. But as long as you're not giving that extra push, Rabotai, as long as you're just saying, okay, you know, what do you call it? Haphazardly, you want to try to do it, Rabotai, over there Hashem will never help you. You have to give it everything you got. Once you give everything you got, the success is up to him. Let me just finish the language that he says over here. He says, if you did everything in your strength to do, Rabotai, mamish your strength. We know what means strength. If you want something, we know how you can get it. How many times you have young couples, I don't even want to say, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, if they have the desire to go, Chas v'shalom, do Nevera or in the house, whatever they want to do, they'll get out of bed, they'll drive to the person. Rabotai, I know people that travel from Queens to Brooklyn, Lolenu, just to Chas v'shalom, do Nevera. Rabbi, I can't control myself. I want to do, but I can't control myself. Rabotai, so for Nevera, we're able to go that far. For mitzvah Chas v'shalom, not lahavdol. Ve'en yachol lasot yoter, Rabotai, when you gave everything you have and you're not able to do anymore, ve'az tushtam ha'malacha l'idei Hashem yitbarach. When you give everything and no longer more, only then is Hashem going to what? Only then is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He's going to then go ahead and finish the job for you. Shebechén lev v'choker kelayot v'yodei matai asa adam et shlo, Rabotai. The emet is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu knows our heart. You don't have to tell me, I can't, Rabotai. To say I can't, everybody can do. Hashem just wants to see, I can and I will try to do it, and Bezrat Hashem b'leneder, you will see in that zuchut, in that merit, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will make sure that you will become successful. That's why there's a Tosha that says if a person comes to shul every day and he comes and he learns and learns, it's impossible that in the end he's not going to become a Tamcha. It's impossible. If you learn, you have a book and you're writing, it's almost impossible. It's like walking into a perfume store or into people where they smoke. When you walk out, either you smell like cologne or either you smell like smoke. Depends where you walked in. So Rabotai, we have to try to give it all we got. Baruch Adonai L'olam. Amen. Amen. Rabbi Chanan ben Akash Omer HaKadosh Baruch Hu.